It started with when I started eating better and started losing weight, because I used to be really overweight, and I was mainly focusing on like macronutrients and like trying to get the best food that I could, and I tried to stick to mainly whole foods, and I was looking up a lot of stuff on the internet, and I eventually stumbled upon paleo and started incorporating more paleo-esque ways, and eventually did a more strict paleo, and that's when like the weight started really dropping off of me, and I think that was like 30 or 40 pounds in of my weight loss, and then once paleo hit, that's when it like started like really shedding off really quickly, and eventually I lost over 100 pounds. It was like 125, 130 pounds that I lost.
And how old were you when you started that?
Well, I started at 13, and it was a lot of trying and failing, like fad diets and prepackaged quote-unquote diet meals, and eventually when I figured out what was right, which was around 15, that's when I started losing weight, and in about a year and a half, I lost over 100 pounds, and I think I was at 16 when that happened.
And so you obviously make really beautiful food. I don't think I was cooking anything like that whenever I was your age. So how did you get so into cooking?
Well, I've always been into cooking ever since I was a little kid. I mean, when I was 4, I was in the kitchen with my mom, helping her cook. I especially liked helping her cook during like holiday meals and stuff like that. If I could get my hands in there, like to do something with my hands, I was excited to be a part of it. And my mom was cooking breakfast or lunch or dinner, and I wasn't at school, I would typically cook with her. And when I was eating poorly and I was overweight, I sort of moved away from that and sort of disconnected with my food. So when I started eating better, clearly I had to start cooking again, because that's the only way you can control what's going in your food, is cooking again. And once I started doing that, all of that passion, I guess, sort of started flooding back to me, and I started writing down my recipes, sort of formulated into my food blog.
Yeah, so are you senior now in high school?
I am.
And is that difficult with your friends? And because I know I have relatives in high school, and I babysat for a long time, so I know that with younger kids, and even from whenever I was in high school, you hang out with your friends and it's like pizza and chips and fast food, and kids don't really know how to eat anymore. It's all packaged stuff. So is that like really challenging for you with hanging out with your friends?
Now that I've got a cookbook, they pretty much know not to ask me if I want to go get pizza. But when I was originally doing it, I pretty much had to lay it out to them, like, look, this is how I'm doing it. This is what I'm making a decision. And I think that they could feel the seriousness and the urgency that I wanted to do this. And they could really feel how serious I was about making this change. And I think that a lot of them respected that and figured out that it's a dumb idea to ask me a question like, do you want to go do this? And they would still invite me sometimes, and I would go, and I would just simply eat before, because like I said, it was very, very important to me, and I really, really wanted to do this. So to me, it wasn't like I was, oh no, I'm missing out on all these meals with my friends, when in reality it's like I'm doing something good for myself. I'm really not worried about missing out on this one meal. I'm still hanging out with them, I'm still talking to them, they're still my friends, and they respected it. So
do you see any of your friends making healthier changes from being around you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even people that I don't even know, I've had people approach me in the hallway and ask for help, usually like an overweight kid asking me, what did you do, etc. And I mean, that was one of the motivating factors of starting my blog and writing my cookbook, was to explain all of that to them through, I even laid out exactly how I ate if somebody wanted to mimic what I did. And a lot of my friends, since I came out with my cookbook, actually have been, cooking from my cookbook, and it's like totally mind-blowing that, these kids that have never cooked in their lives before are like tackling things like braised Moroccan chicken and lamb vindaloo and all these crazy, some of the hardest recipes in the book, and they're going straight for those, and they're doing awesome. And the fact that I published this cookbook and it's motivating people to start cooking again, and I'm actually doing what I was hoping to do with the book, is really, really empowering.
really awesome. So you wrote a cookbook while you were in high school. So school is a full-time job.
Yeah, still in high school.
Still in high school. That's pretty intense. How did that work? Like, how was that working on the book while you were working hard in school?
It was a huge challenge. I mean, my grades fluctuated a lot. Sometimes they were, normal or high, and then they'd be really low because I would have like a deadline for something, and they would. I mean, you have to trade something off at some point in time. So I'd either have to relax on the book, or like take a second off school and just deal with the repercussion of my grades are going to go down for a couple of weeks for this. And really, that ended up working for me. Some days I was able to do both at the same time, but in the end, I had to make a change or make a focal point that I could like be like, all right, well, I'm going to work on the book for 4 days here and just kind of take a little bit of my focus away from school. And I know that sounds bad, but it ended up working out for me. And I was shooting like 4 or 5 recipes a day on top of like school and stuff like that. And I still went to school, but yeah, pretty much.
So what's your favorite recipe in the book?
That's like asking who your favorite child is.
Yeah.
That's such a hard question. I can give my top 3 favorites.
Okay.
The lamb vindaloo I'm actually really proud of because I've always been a huge fan of curries. Like I always am trying to like perfect a good curry recipe, and the lamb vindaloo was a huge success to me. The braised Moroccan chicken is another really good one, and I think the broccoli soup. And the only reason I really like the broccoli soup is because really all you need to make my broccoli soup is water and broccoli and salt and pepper, and that's it. I mean, if you want, you can add in some other things for a little bit of like fancy flair, like maybe some toasted walnuts or goat cheese or whatever, but really all you need is water and broccoli. All that matters is the ratio of water to broccoli, and it has like the perfect like creamy smooth consistency even though it's just water and broccoli, and it kind of shows off like that whole like beauty behind simplicity, real food, like fresh. Like if you get a fresh stalk of broccoli from the farmer's market, you can really let the flavor of that shine through with this because it's so simplistic.
That's awesome. So tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at slimpalate.com or Slim Palate on Twitter, Slim Palate on Instagram, Slim Palate everything. And my book is the Slim Palate Paleo Cookbook. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.